I'm with David and Donna Ely, who are from Alaska, but working here in Jerusalem with the Palestinian Bible Society. Now, what are you doing with the Bible Society?
Well, we are, again, volunteers. We come for 2 months every year. I do management consulting, in a word. Donna, who's a mental health therapist, does a lot of psychological therapy. I'll let her talk a little bit more about that. But that's the essence of what we do.
Yes, just like my husband said, I'm a mental health clinician. Originally, I was invited here and was doing counseling and stress management, but it has evolved a bit over the years to other things as well.
And how often do you actually come to Jerusalem?
Well, we're here once a year. We come for 2 months, to get out of the winter of Alaska, which is good. And so we usually spend January and February here.
So when you're leaving Alaska in January, what's the weather actually like there in Alaska? Because I guess people in Jerusalem don't realize what it's like.
No, no, they don't, because I've had some comments just recently as, wow, it's cold here in Jerusalem, probably much like it is in Alaska, and this is actually feels much like summer time in Alaska. So it's it snows and it's cold and it's dark a lot of the day. So.
And what does the temperature get down to in Alaska?
It depends what part of Alaska. We're in Juneau, the capital, so
Probably minus 10 Celsius most of the time in the middle of the winter. Yeah.
Now, what do you actually do in Alaska?
Well, again, I do consulting work myself. I have a maritime background. I used to be a sailor, so I work with shipping companies, cruise industry, governments that manage and operate ships.
I work as a mental health clinician and have a practice. Actually, I also work for a nonprofit, faith-based Christian counseling center.
And how do you bring the skills that you have in Alaska here to Jerusalem?
Well, as you can imagine, there's a lot of stress in this land. So there's a need for a lot of stress management. And so many of my skills are brought to help people manage that stress, recognize what those stress reactions are, and ways to cope.
Do you see that in behavioral problems?
Yes, a lot of times people want to talk about their children because obviously it's not just adults who have problems with stress overload. Their children do. Unfortunately, children don't usually have the maturity and the wisdom of which to express that they are under stress. So parents are many times asking me, what do I think of various behaviors? And I clearly see it as stress reactions. And so I have opportunities to have parenting classes in different West Bank towns.
And David, what about you?
Well, again, I help them with their organizational development and management here. As you know, the Bible Society, they have lots of programs, lots of people spread out through lots of parts of the West Bank, Gaza, and here in Jerusalem. And so, the counsel I can provide and the oversight that I can help them with, helps them in being more efficient.
And you also have an interest in Gaza, and you visit Gaza. How easy is it actually to go in there?
Well, typically the Israeli Defense Force has given us a permit to go in. You have to have a reason to go in. You have to be sponsored. We're sponsored by the Bible Society, and we usually will get permission to go in. Depending on how quiet it is at the time, depends on when we actually do go in.
And is it safe actually to go into Gaza?
Let's see. We have been in Gaza coming every year since 2004. And so to answer that question, whether it is safe to go into Gaza has actually depended on what was happening or has happened in Gaza during that time. Probably our least safe feeling was our very first time when we went into Gaza, as there was a incursion going on when we went in 2004.
Now, in Gaza, there is a school, and you were the first to adopt a child in that school in Gaza. Why did you adopt a child?
Well, we really believed in the concept of the idea of a Christian school in Gaza, open to anybody. Obviously, in fact, most of the children come from Muslim families, but the idea of a setting where children could come and learn and feel safe with good playground equipment, excellent teachers. I mean, we believed in the concept. And so the first time we heard about the school, we knew that they were trying to raise money through like child sponsorship. And we just visited the school and thought, this is like an oasis. It's a lovely place. And just to see the children there with their happy smiles and running around and their bright classrooms, we just thought, we want to be a part of this. And a lot of it is for children who, most of the children who attend this school are coming from poor families. And so obviously the scholarship money coming from sponsors is important.
Yes, we're proud that we were the first people to sponsor. We just happened to be there at the right time when the school was starting up, so we were grateful to be able to sponsor those two children. They've since graduated and moved on. We're now on our fifth or sixth monthly sponsorship of children at the Lighthouse School in Gaza.
And do you ever hear from some of the children that you've sponsored in the past?
No, we haven't, unfortunately. I mean, that sounds like a lovely idea. We do continue to always, when we go into Gaza, we always make a point of going to the Lighthouse School and meeting our current children that we're sponsoring, maybe giving them a little gift to share with the other children, or just to have them, meet us and know what we look like, these old Americans that are their sponsors. But no, there hasn't seemed to be a way yet to actually keep up with the children we've sponsored.
And why do you do what you're doing here in the land?
Well, I tell you what, the Bible Society, an amazing bunch of entrepreneurs. In fact, I was just telling Donna this morning that, if they're anything in their lot, they're entrepreneurs. They take volunteers like us and they fit us to the mission rather than trying to accommodate our own comforts and our own desires and stuff. And, if you allow me, I was looking back over a brief 7-day period, what they'd asked Donna to do. And it's an interesting list of things. For example, she was asked to lead a Zumba class for Arab and Christian Muslim women, help host a singles Valentine's Day party, lead a marriage preparation seminar up in Galilee for young Arab Israelis, talk to middle school girls in Ramallah about bullying, provide stress management tips to staff appropriately on the Mount of Temptations, manage a self-esteem course for Jericho teenage girls, and help evaluate a public school earthquake drill, of all things. All that in the course of a few days. Yeah. Amazing.
Wow. So why do you do what you do, Donna?
Well, for one thing, I just love the people here. The first time Dave and I came in 2004, we came because we genuinely felt called to it. I mean, we knew Labib Madnet and his wife, and they asked if we would give some assistance. And we came really, I think, out of a sense of duty. We felt like, well, this is what we are being called to do. I like to say that we only needed to be called once, because then we fell in love. And we fell in love with the people. We came to respect so much what the Bible Society does in different places. And I guess we're continue to be called, but the main motivation is just our love for the people.
And what's your prayer for this land, for the people here?
Well, of course, we all pray for peace and reconciliation. Pray that for safety of the staff members, of course, and all the different things that they do and are involved in. Of course, Donna, and she could, well, I guess I'll let you offer your prayer request. So I didn't want to do your own prayer request. You have your own. Yeah.
No, I have David's as well. But, my prayer for the staff and it is really, and for the volunteers also that will come to help the staff. There's many people that will come to volunteer, is that they will keep their focus before them, their Christian commitment before them, their courage, that they will be encouraged, and just be able to stay at the task because it's a really important one.
Okay, David and Donna, thank you very much.
You are so welcome.
Thank you.